Dodgers, Padres, walk-off tanks on a Friday night. Both guys, lefties, cranked into the right field stands. Always fun to see a walk-off on a Friday night. It's just got to feel good. Both dudes in Muncy and Sheets, multi-home run games. We're going to talk a little bit Padres, a little bit Dodgers, a little bit NL West, I guess. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. This is the Hold My Ball podcast. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the show. All right, Southern California got a nice little Friday night treat if you were at Petco or Dodger Stadium. This was 53,675 in attendance at Dodger Stadium, 42,454 at Petco. It was bobblehead Shohei night in Dodger Stadium. What can we possibly expect other than a packed house? Everybody trying to get a Shohei bobblehead. Everybody trying to show up on his bobblehead night. He usually does something special. I guess he did tonight. He got on base for the 44th straight game, which is pretty wild. Good for him. He's still, oh, here we go. Hold on. Yeah, got to get the yawn in. Got that one early today. Ohtani, this is his, what did I just say? 44 games in a row on base streak, which is a walk, a hit by pitch, or whatever, a hit. He's got on base 44 times in a row. Got a single in the fifth inning to extend it and surpass Ichiro Suzuki for the longest streak by a Japanese-born player, which is pretty cool. Good for Ohtani. Just adding things to his resume as he continues to play, and he will be adding things until he is done because he's that good. He's only 40 games behind Ted Williams for the all-time record for anybody born anywhere. So you're halfway home, Ohtani. Keep going, baby. But Ohtani is not exactly the story tonight. He just had a standard day. So we are going to talk about Max Muncy. 3 bombs. 3, which is pretty incredible. It's his second 3-home run game of his career, but this one, when your third one is a walk-off bomb in the bottom of the ninth after Edwin Diaz comes into the trumpets, promptly blows a 3-1 lead, and then Muncy saves him in the bottom of the ninth, and they end up winning and walking it off, which now just changes his save to a win. We call those win vultures. Right? The guy before Diaz had the win in hand, and all Diaz had to do was go close the game and get his save, but he was like, whoops, I'm going to blow this lead for you, buddy. And then I'm also going to be the last guy to throw a pitch today, so I'm going to get the win when Muncy walks us off. Which is a crazy, crazy thing. I find that to be one of the funniest things there is. It's like, I blew the lead, I'm sorry. I also get a win for being the worst pitcher of the night. Diaz is funny, man. He gives up I think he gave up a hit. I think he gave up 4 hits. But his face, he was just like, At one point, after I think it was tied and then they got another hit, I'm pretty sure he was like, okay. Just like, well, yeah, they're hitting the ball tonight. Wow, good for these guys. It's like, and then it looks like the Dodgers, over half their team is back-to-back World Series champions. So you see him hit a walk-off. Muncy rounds the bases like it's the 4th inning, whatever. He's pumped up, but he's just jogging nice and slow. He gets to home, and he's like, ah. The guy's like, oh, yeah, oh. All right, dude, good stuff. See ya. And it's like, it's just a crazy thing to watch. Oh, yawn number 2? I tell you all the time, I think it's lack of oxygen to the brain. But Muncy, man, good for him. He also moved himself to, 6th all-time, I believe? 6th all-time home runs for a Dodger, which is pretty cool. It's good for him. And they're asking him such stupid questions in the locker room. They asked him about his weight and how he trimmed down this offseason. And then some guy, you could just tell he's an older guy in there in his voice. He's like, how much did you lose? He's like, pretty sure I came in, I lost 17 pounds. He's like, how much did you weigh? And Muncy's like, how much did I weigh exactly? He's like, yeah, how much exactly did you weigh on when you got back to spring training? Muncy's like, fuck, I don't know, 207, 203. And Muncy laughed it off like, what a dumbass thing to ask me. And then there's another lady who I'm watching. She's off to the side by him holding her phone recording. And you know what she asks? She goes, did you have to... And they asked him why. He's like, pretty much just my diet was the biggest thing. I really had to stay on top of my diet. And the lady that looks like she's about to fall asleep in the background holding an iPhone, recording everything he says, goes, was there certain like things you had to say no to? He was like, yeah, obviously. When I have to watch my diet. He said it much nicer than I would have, but she's like what? And he's like, bread. Bread was the answer. Muncy didn't eat much bread this offseason. He lost weight. Who gives a damn? He just hit 3 jacks with a walk-off bomb, and he became the 6th all-time leader in home runs for the Dodgers. Ask some real questions. Get some real reporters in here. I want to be in the locker room, and the only thing I'm going to ask, I want to be in the locker room. I'm going to be in all these media meetings when players are getting interviewed, and I'm just going to be there. And I will never in my entire life, I could be there 20 years, I'll never ask another question other than, hey, Muncy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stupid was that last question? That way the reporters will know, like when I'm there, they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to ask anything stupid. Jake's going to follow me up. I'll do it. I think it would be good. I think the players would really enjoy that, actually. But Muncy carried. Good job, dude. Congratulations to him for moving up on a very cool list. What's up, guys? We're taking a quick break in the action. I want to give a quick shout out to our partners over at Caesars Sportsbook. Caesars currently has an exciting new customer offer. Bet $1 and double your winnings on your next 10 wagers. Sign me up, baby. Use code HoldMyBall, DYW. That is, use code HoldMyBall, DYW. When you sign up to activate the offer and support me and the Hold My Ball podcast. This is why I love you guys, because you've been bought into this show from the beginning, and it's grown and it's doing such amazing things. And this is the kind of stuff that allows us to keep doing it. So thank you. I appreciate it. Hold My Ball, DYW. At the end, that stands for double your winnings. Easy way to remember it. Hit the link in the description for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Guys, as always, please bet responsibly. Have some fun with it. Take it seriously, but have a good time. And go get this double your winnings on your next 10 wagers with Hold My Ball, DYW, with our friends over at Caesars Sportsbook. Again, always bet responsibly. Now, on the other side, Mason Miller, who also he got the win tonight too. He came in and won one game at the top of the ninth, and he K'd up the side, which is what he's just done. This guy's nuts. I just did a full podcast on him, so I'm not going to go too deep on the stats with him, but he K'd the side again tonight, which makes 17 of the last 18 outs he's gotten were strikeouts. One of them was a ground out. The last 18 batters he faced, 1 ground out, 17 Ks. This guy's not real. And somebody was arguing with me online today about how I must have forgot about Mariano Rivera. I did not forget about Mariano Rivera when I said that Mason Miller, I think, is the most unhittable pitcher of all time. Obviously, Rivera played for 18 years or something. So do I think that the body of work that Mason Miller has put together is comparable to what Mo has done? No, I don't. Of course not. It's an 18-year career versus a 5-year, 4-year, whatever he's at now. But when you talk about most unhittable pitcher to ever grace the game, let's put this into perspective. If Mariano Rivera is the best, he pitched 1,283 innings in his career with 1,173 strikeouts. 1,283 innings, 1,173 strikeouts. Now we look at Mason Miller. He's thrown 167 innings, 265 Ks, 167 innings with 265 strikeouts. If you multiply Miller's numbers by 7.5, it's going to equal pretty much the same exact amount of innings as Mo. So Rivera threw 1,283. If you multiply what Mason Miller's done so far in his career by 7.5, that puts him at 1,252. So 30 innings less than Mariano. Now, if you take the strikeouts and do the same thing, Mariano Rivera had 1,173 Ks to his 1,283 innings, so 110 less strikeouts than he had innings. Now, if you just multiply Miller's stats right now so he has the same amount of innings, 1,252 innings, his strikeouts would equal 1,987, which is insane. That'd be 700 more strikeouts than innings pitched. I don't think people realize, if you're arguing at all that Mason Miller's not the most unhittable pitcher for the last year that the game has ever seen, you're just not paying attention. I said it last time, I'll say it again. And not to mention, Mariano Rivera had a strike zone from 1995 to 2013. Holy shit. Imagine if Mason Miller had the same strike zone that Mariano Rivera had. Would he ever give up a ball in play? Or would he just strike everybody out because sometimes he's getting a ball and a half off the zone? Oh my God, dude. There's one thing that I will say you cannot compare. And that is, that's basically this right here. You can't compare Mason Miller to Mariano Rivera because Mariano Rivera's strike zone was nothing close to how tight, how small, and how now arguable, challengeable Mason Miller's strike zone is, and all pitchers today. So to me, it's not even close. Mason Miller is the most unhittable pitcher the game has ever seen. I won't talk about it again until probably another few weeks when he Ks up another 25 guys. But let's talk about Mr. Andy Pages, currently hitting 449. And my take on this, I just think it's cool. And it makes me happy. He's hitting 449. He's got a 1.257 OPS. He's got 4 home runs, 4 doubles, 8 multi-hit games, and 4 games with 3 hits or more this year. We're 13 games into the season. He's played all 13. He's got 4 jacks, 4 doubles. 8 of his 13 games, he's had multi-hits. And 4 of them, half of his multi-hit games have been 3 hits. That's crazy. And here's what I think. He's an outstanding, you forget how young he is. He's 25 years old. He's an outstanding center fielder. He's elite. He's an elite center fielder. And last year, he hit the ball decent. He was good. Nothing crazy, but good. He was like 270, I think. 20-something bombs, 20-something doubles. But I feel like here's what makes him start the season like this. And I think, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's an off-season plan, work, and execution. I think we're seeing it all come together early on in the season, which is cool. He's only 25, but you got to feel like as a young guy, like on this team, the Dodgers, like the baseline to be a starter on this team is so high that it feels like you truly have to like not only earn your keep every day, really, especially every season. You're not Kyle Tucker making $60 million yet. You got to perform and prove yourself every day more than you would on any other team. Way significantly more than you would on any other team. You are on a team full of superstars. So to earn your keep, you got to be constantly providing something of high value to the team because somebody else will if you're not. So I love it for Pages. Like I said, outstanding center fielder. If he continues to hit like this, and I don't mean the numbers, but just a quality at bat point of view, if he continues to put together quality at bats and play the kind of Gold Glove defense he plays, I mean, this is a guy that's going to be a dude for years. For years. The stats are going to even themselves out this year throughout the course of the season. But, I mean, he's got a chance to be one of the elite center fielders in this league for what I think could be a really long time. So, I love to see it. I'm a big fan of Pages. Yeah, it makes me happy. It makes me happy to see him do what he's doing. What else we got here? Glasnow. Let's talk about Glasnow real quick because I picked this guy to be the Cy Young this year. I just feel like he's going to have a good year. I just do. I got ripped for it. Everyone's like, oh, he won't throw more than X amount of innings. Oh, he's not going to be healthy. Oh, he's not going to have more than 15 starts. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't know. He's been good. He's 3-0. I mean, he's had 3 starts this year. He's 1-0. He's pitching well. I mean, he's got a 4 ERA, which 3 starts in. I think that will go down. I think that'll be probably high 2s, maybe. That would be my guess. He pitched against Texas tonight, 7 Ks, which I thought was funny. He's had 4 career starts before this against Texas. He's 3-0 with the 0.38 ERA. That's crazy. That's just having a team's number, which is wild. The last 3 years, here's a fun fact for you. He's had the lowest batting average against with 2 strikes. So when he gets a hitter to 2 strikes, the last 3 seasons, in the last 3 years, combined, starters, with at least 200 plus innings, he's got the lowest batting average when he gets a batter to 2 strikes. They're hitting 102 off of him. 1 out of 10 guys gets a hit when they're in a 2-strike count with Glasnow. That to me is incredibly impressive. So, like I said, 3 starts. He's gone 18 innings. He's 1-0. He's got a 4 ERA. He's got a 0.94 whip, which means he's letting less than 1 guy on an inning. 22 Ks and 4 walks. The guy is good, man. The guy is good. He's very good. And the Dodgers look like an unstoppable force early on in the season because they're not even healthy and they're 10-3 or something. 10-2. I don't know what they are. 10-3, I think. If these guys are at full health, nobody's beating them. That just is what it is. And back to the Padres real quick. Good for them. 2 walk-offs in a row. You got Xander Bogaerts walk-off grand slam in the 12th, longest game of the year. And then the next night you get to walk-off with Sheets in the 9th. A great start to the weekend. Imagine if they go 2 more. I think they got the Rockies Saturday, Sunday. Imagine if they walk them off 4 times. What are the odds? The big bummer, though, here for the Padres, Musgrove, man. Recent news on him. He had surgery in 2024 during the postseason on his elbow. He had issues with it. I think his slider, he tried to change it to a sweeper, same effect. But he says, like right now, there's no timeline for his return to the mound, which after a 2024 surgery, it's been a year and a half. Sucks to hear. Kept him all out. 2025, they could have used him last year. He said he's been putting in the work, but the elbow just isn't cooperating how he'd like it to at this point and doesn't feel confident putting anything on the ball while playing catch. I mean, that doesn't sound good. I would love to see him back on the mound. I'm a big fan of Joe. I owned a baseball facility years ago during COVID, and when everything was shut down and nobody had anywhere to go, including these players, they just somehow ended up at my facility, and it was like a secret. It was like a speakeasy for baseball players to come get their work in. You had to know about it, and you had to come in the back door, and it was very cool. There ended up being like 30 to 40 guys in there at a time. We had enough space to go live, like fenced in, caged in, netted in, whatever you want to call it. Pitchers, we could get them at 60 feet, 6 inches, throwing live. Guys were hitting. I was watching Musgrove versus Moniak, Phil Evans, all these guys. Brett Sullivan, he's with the Rockies now. A bunch of good dudes. And I would love to see Musgrove back because he was one of the real ones. Like he would come in, get his work like a dog. He'd always say, "What's up?" Come through the back door, find me. I was usually just parked somewhere, sitting down, watching everybody get their work in, trying to stay out of the way. He'd always like give me a quick, at least like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "What's up?" And then he'd always say bye. And if he didn't say bye, it was like he would walk out the back door and leave. And then like 10 seconds later, come back, open the door, peek around for me. Just, "Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. See you next time." I'm like, that just to me speaks volumes about the character. I thought that was really cool. He also gave me a couple $100 and a pair of brand new shoes when he left. I thought that was nice. Anyways, I would love to see Musgrove back. Great Friday night for Southern California baseball. Pretty sure the Angels dominated too. Interesting fact I heard on the Angels. I'll have to fact check it. They're like 6-0 when they get 11 hits or more. Which here's the crazy part about it. 6-0, I think. I got to get this right. Let me look at their record real quick. Because this is an interesting fact and I want to get it right. The Angels, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I do hate that name. I wish they were just Anaheim Angels. All right, they're 7-7. So this is crazy. The Angels are 7-0 when they get 11 hits or more. 11 hits, they're 7-0. 10 hits or less, they're 0-7. That's a crazy stat because 10 hits is a lot. That's a lot. You get 11 or more, you're winning. You get 10 or less, you're losing. Crazy. And that's it. That's the show. That's the show today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. 100,000 fans in attendance between the Dodgers and the Padres in Southern California tonight, and they all got to enjoy walk-offs, walk-off tanks by two guys who collectively hit 5 home runs tonight. Unbelievable. Good for Muncy, good for Sheets, good for the Padres, good for the Dodgers, good for Southern California, good for the Angels. They got 11 hits, and they won. This is the Hold My Ball podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Jake Savicki, and I'm signing off. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, save, download, whatever doesn't cost you any money. We got some sponsors for that, so you guys don't have to pay money. You just have to listen to me and hang out with me. That's how I like your support. So I thank you guys for being here. I love you, and we'll catch you on the next episode. See you later.